Yo, it's your boy Bess. Welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, episode 11. Y'all, episode 11. First of all, I want to thank God for just waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something I love to do. And without him, I would not be here right now, y'all. We headed into week 6, But as we all know, on these episodes, I always do my best 5 plays of the prior week. So let's go ahead and get into the best 5 plays of week 5, y'all. The best 5 plays of week 5. And of course, we always have an honorable mention, always. And here we go. Vikings defense, y'all. Vikings defense. Gotta get the honorable mention. It's a minute and 5 seconds left. Justin Fields trying to drive down the field. And all they do is strip this ball right out of this man's hands and take it back. They didn't score, of course, but they ended and sealed the game. This is why the Bears are bad this year, because of plays like this. You can't afford this. You're already behind. The team is not that great. And then you make these costly mistakes at the end of games when you're trying to come back into a game. And then the Vikings, 4-1 this year. You know why? Because of plays like this. Finishing games. They're doing a good job offensively with the new head coach, Kevin O'Connell. And plays like this are what makes you winners. And great job, Vikings defense, for being an honorable mention. Now the best 5 plays of week 5. We got to go with number 5, Tony Pollard, y'all. These plays are the reason why the Cowboys are 4-1. Okay, simple as that. Tony Pollard hits the middle, makes 3 guys miss, okay, and then gets into the end zone, 57 yards. You know what this does? This makes the job easy for Cooper Rush. Okay, Cooper Rush, who I advocate to start the rest of the season. Honestly, I think he should start the rest of the season because his team is flowing right now. They won 4 straight games, and it's because of a run game like this that creates a play action pass, for Cooper Rush, and it helps him out. You know, when the run game's flowing, people worry about the run, makes the pass easier. It's making Cooper Rush's job a whole lot easy. And with plays like this, explosive plays like this, they can beat teams like, for example, the defending Super Bowl champs. And not only that, but his defense is playing great right now at a high level. So plays like this will keep the Cowboys on the top of their game. Number 4, I got to go with Mike Williams. This is a grown man catch. I got 2 grown man catches on this top 5, well, best 5 plays, and this is one of them, y'all. Grown man catch. He goes up and get this ball. Y'all remember Mike Williams in college at Clemson? He did the same thing. He did the same kind of plays that he's made his whole career. He's one of the best jump ball receivers in the league, going up, putting his body on the line, grabbing his ball with 2 hands. Strong, grown man, great catch. This is why this offense is so scary, because of playmakers like Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, and then, of course, Keenan Allen, who's still dealing with an injury right now. And then you got Justin Herbert throwing that ball to him. So, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, my bad. Great catch, great grab, grown man catch. This is why you're one of the best jump ball receivers in the league, because of your ability to go up and grab the ball. Number 3, I got to go with Marquise Hollywood Brown for the Arizona Cardinals. Y'all, look, these are the plays that Kyler Murray needs. He needs help. He needs these plays for whenever the game not going the way it's supposed to go, right? I throw the little short pass to my receiver, let him do the rest of the work. It wasn't that long of a touchdown, but he did make 2 people miss and then outran one of them and got into the end zone. We didn't really see this in Baltimore, right? We didn't see Hollywood playing the way he's playing in Arizona in Baltimore. Is it the quarterback situation in Baltimore? Is it Lamar Jackson? Or is it the playbook? That's debatable, but he has definitely played better now that he's with the Arizona Cardinals. And plays like this are coming weekly from Marquise Hollywood Brown. Let's go ahead with number 2, y'all. Darnell Mooney. Haven't heard his name all year. He hasn't done anything all year because they're not throwing his way. This Bears offense is just terrible right now. But when they do throw his way, this is what happens. He goes up and grabs one-handed catch. Beautiful catch by Darnell. Look, Justin Fields needs this. He needs receivers to go up and make plays right now. He's struggling right now. Things are not looking good. So when he throws it up, you better go make that play. Help your quarterback out. Help your team out. Great job, Darnell, especially when you're not getting no love all season. You're not getting no catches, no targets. Guess what? When they do throw you the ball, make the most of it. And then moving forward, they will start to include you more in the game plan, get you more touches, get you the ball more, which they need to do because you are a nice receiver. So great catch. This is a statement catch right here. Throw me the ball. Great one-handed catch by Darnell Mooney. And number 1, I hate to do it, and this is how y'all know that this show is not biased, okay? Because this is the second time I done put a best 5 play of a player that went against my Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, it was Nelson Aguilar a couple weeks ago when he mossed one of our corners, and now this week we got to go with Gabriel Davis, y'all. That massacre last week. I don't want to talk about the game. It was bad. That was probably the worst game I've seen in Steelers history, honestly. Just the way that I felt ruined my whole entire weekend, especially this catch right here. This is a grown man catch, and it's not even just the catch, y'all. Look at who he did it against. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick. This isn't just some random safety. This is the best safety in the league. I told y'all last week he should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, no doubt. 3 interceptions through 4 games. Well, before last week, so 3 interceptions through 5 games. He's playing great right now and found the end zone one time. But this game, he got exposed. And this play right here, I mean, Minkah had it, but Gabe just snatched it right out of his hands. This is a grown man play. This is who wanted it more, and Gabriel Davis wanted it more. Like I said, it was a great catch, but you know what made it number one? Who he did it against, okay? Sometimes when you do it against players like that, it makes it look a whole lot better because that's not no random safety. That is the best safety in the league, Minkah Fitzpatrick. So Gabriel Davis, unfortunately, you are number one on the best 5 plays of week 5. And now that we are done with that, let's go ahead and dive straight into our preview for week 6. Y'all cannot wait for Sunday, and I'm going to go ahead and go game by game. The 2 games of the week, of course, is the Bills and the Chiefs at 3:45 on Sunday, and then Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Cannot wait for these 2 games. But first, I'm going to go over every other game, then I'm going to come back and jump into those. So first we got San Francisco and Atlanta. Pick San Francisco. That's who I'm going with. San Francisco defense has been dominant this whole entire season, especially Nick Bosa, constantly causing pressure on quarterbacks. This San Francisco defense is nice, and the offense is starting to click a little bit too. Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in the league, I believe. And this offense with Jimmy Garoppolo is starting to kick off again. Of course, we saw it the first night against the Broncos, I believe, on the Sunday Night Football game. It was ugly. It was very ugly. But then as the weeks have gone by, they're starting to get things going again, okay? It's like an old machine, an old rusted machine. I need a little bit of oil, and Jimmy Garoppolo got this offense going thanks to Kyle Shanahan and this offense. So Atlanta is not a bad team right now. Right now they're competing in every game. Okay, we saw them compete against the Rams a couple weeks ago. They competed last week against Tampa Bay. If it wasn't for a roughing the passer call they called, it might have won that game, but you never know. So this Atlanta team is playing good right now, but unfortunately you're going against a team that is red hot right now, making quarterbacks look bad. So Marcus Mariota, you will be in for a game of your life because these boys will make you run all day. Because of this D-line, they're going to make you run for your life all day, make you uncomfortable. So I'm taking the 49ers easily in this matchup against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Next, we got the Patriots and the Browns. I'm going with the Patriots, okay? Bailey Zappi, whatever that quarterback name is for the Patriots right now. He played a great game last week against a Lions team, and the Lions are not a bad team this year. They beat them like 29-0, I believe. So this offense looked pretty good with Bailey in there. No shade to Mac Jones, but Mac, you might want to hurry up and get back because if Bill sees something that he likes, he's going to stick with it. Why would you fix something that's not broken, right? So, and Bailey Zapp keep doing what he's doing right now. Mac Jones, you might not have a starting job when you come back, okay? So right now I'm liking this Patriots team. Patriots run offense is what's making Bailey look good. You run the ball so much that teams got to stack the box, teams got to walk up, and then you play action, throw it over their head. That's what this offense is built to do. Both these offenses, honestly, because looking at the Cleveland Browns, they got to run the ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And that makes teams step up, and then you play action, and Jacoby Brissett will throw it over your head. Make it easy for these quarterbacks by getting the run game going. But I trust the Patriots defense more than I trust the Browns defense. And also, I think the Patriots have found a nice little rhythm. They barely lost to the Packers, right, in overtime against Aaron Rodgers. Then they go and they beat the Lions, and now I think they will beat Cleveland in Cleveland. I'm going with the Patriots. Next, we got the Jets and the Packers. Okay, the Packers hasn't been looking good the past couple weeks. 2 weeks ago, they barely beat the Patriots in overtime, like I just said. And then last week, they lost to the football Giants, y'all. New York Giants. They lost to the Giants in London. And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, are the Giants legit, or is the Packers like kind of going through a little something right now? Are they really kind of are they struggling right now? And I want to say the Giants might be better than I thought they were. but I think this is the perfect week for the Packers to turn it around. Okay, I think the Packers at home, of course, they've won 15 straight games at home, so at home they are almost unbeatable. And I think that games like this against the Jets team is actually pretty hot right now. The Jets 3-2. So there's really no bad teams in the league right now. Right? I think every team is beatable. Every game you got to go into it looking like, okay, and both teams can lose this game. There is no guaranteed winners this year. So, but this game I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I would never bet against Aaron Rodgers. Never, ever. Okay, I just can't do that because he's so great. I told y'all his numbers will not look like a top 5 quarterback right now. It just won't because his receivers, they're not on the same page right now. They're still working. They're still gelling. And right now, the focal point of the offense is the running backs, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So I think they will use these running backs. Will run the ball down the Jets' throat, okay? And then Aaron Rodgers will occasionally drop back and throw the ball, but I think this team needs to get back on pace and get back on track and win this game against the Jets at home. The Jets, Zach Wilson, since he's come back, I think they've won every game. I believe so. So the Jets right now, they look pretty good. They look pretty legit, especially Breece Hall. I told y'all, if Kenny Pickett didn't start enough games, right? Because that was my offensive rookie of the year. I picked Kenny Pickett, but I said if he didn't start enough games, I'm going with Breece Hall. So that was my second offensive rookie of the year pick. And last week he had over 100 all-purpose yards. Breece Hall looks good. And in the league today, if you have a running back that can do it through the air and on the ground, it makes it a lot easier for your quarterback. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I am taking the Green Bay Packers. Just because the Packers don't have the ability to blow out teams right now, I'm going with the Packers in a tight one in Lambeau Field. Next, we got Jacksonville and the Colts. I'm going with Jacksonville, y'all. I can't go with the Colts simply because the offense just doesn't look right. And Jonathan Taylor is still out. He's still not playing. Then Naheem Hines, their second string running back, is also out with an injury. So they're down 2 running backs. And I think that's going to slow the offense down. And you're going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who 2 weeks straight, Trevor Lawrence has looked bad. So I don't think he'll have a third straight bad game. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think... And they did beat the Colts early this year, 24-0. So y'all know it's a division matchup, so you play everybody in your division twice. And I think Trevor Lawrence know what to do against the Colts. Because last time beating 24-0, you have the blueprint, use it again, and make it better this time. Of course, you got to make adjustments, but I think this time Trevor Lawrence will get them again. And I believe that he will win this game on the road in Indianapolis. So I do got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next, we got the Vikings and the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't have a quarterback right now. Next week, Tua is returning. Tua and the Dolphins play the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football next week. Okay, but this week they do not have a quarterback. So because of that, it's the quarterback league. And I don't think that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are at that point where no matter who's at quarterback, they can be successful. I don't believe that. So I think that the Minnesota Vikings will win on the road. Like I said last in the best 5 plays, you saw honorable mention. The Vikings defense closed out a game against Chicago. So I trust this defense to make some plays against an inexperienced quarterback with the Miami Dolphins. Like I said, Teddy Bridgewater not playing. I don't think, and Tua is not playing. So with no quarterback, I don't think they will win this game. I got the Vikings, very explosive offense with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins playing pretty good right now. He's not losing them games, which is always a good thing. So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings on the road against Miami. And here we got Cincinnati and the Saints. Y'all got to go with Cincinnati. This is a bounce-back game, okay? You lost last week against the Ravens when you legit lost that game. Y'all saw my rant about the Bengals in episode 10, how I got mad at them for how they lost to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens last week on Sunday Night Football. So this week, you're going against the Saints. The Saints haven't been looking that good over the past couple weeks. They got in a shootout last week with the Seahawks, and then they was losing games prior to that. So they're not looking as good as we thought they would. Okay, Jameis is still hurt, of course. Andy Dalton's playing. Michael Thomas still hurt, so they're still dealing with some injuries. But I think that the Bengals got to get back on the right track. They're 2-3. Right, this is the team that I said was a championship contender in this league. So in order to do that, you got to win these games against teams that are questionable right now, teams that are not at its full strength right now. You got to take these games and win them. Like I said, the Saints right now still dealing with injuries. Don't have the quarterback, and honestly, I can't say that they'll be much better with Jameis, because when Jameis was playing, yes, he was hurt, but he didn't show, he wasn't looking good. So Andy Dalton and the Saints, I could say this is a revenge game, right, for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton playing his old team. Remember, he started at the Bengals a while ago. I could say this is a a payback game, but I'm taking the Bengals on the road in New Orleans, which is rare. Rarely will I ever take a road team in New Orleans, but I am going with the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. Next is the Ravens and the Giants. This might actually be a good game because it is Giants defense. The Giants defensive coordinator coached with the Ravens last year. So the Giants defensive coordinator is the former Ravens defensive coordinator. I think he knows a little bit about Lamar and what to do against Lamar and how to slow down Lamar. He knows Lamar's weaknesses. He knows his strengths. So I would put my money on the New York Giants this week. I think the Giants will actually go 5-1, which is crazy. They're not going to maintain it, right? They're going to start at 5-1, and they're going to fall off eventually. But I think this defense is going to be able to slow down Lamar because they're defensive coordinator. Like I said, coached with the Baltimore Ravens last year. So you've been around Lamar so much, you know his strengths, his weaknesses. So I'm going to take this Giants defense to slow down Lamar Jackson enough to get this win. The Ravens, defensively, the secondary still looks questionable, right? But we all know the focal point of the Giants offense, which is Saquon Barkley, okay? So I think they will find a way to get Saquon involved, find a way to get him going. And then defensively, I think they're going to make Lamar Jackson's life miserable on Sunday in New York. So I'm going with the New York Giants over the Baltimore Ravens. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. We got the Buccaneers and the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers, y'all. Look, the Steelers right now, we are not looking like we should. Okay, and on top of that, we're already missing T.J. Watt, which is apparently our whole team because ever since we lost him, we haven't won a game. Okay, and if you look at the all-time record without him, I believe like 0-8-1 or 0-9-1, something like that. So T.J. Watt is the heart and soul of this team. So we're missing him. And now this week we're missing Minka Fitzpatrick, our second best defensive player, right? And then like 3 of our corners are hurt. So right now we're playing with a bunch of backups. Had to promote people from the practice squad, right? We don't have it in the secondary. They're going against Tom Brady, who all of a sudden likes to throw the ball a lot at age 46, 45, however old he is, right? He's slinging the ball around. So I think the only way we can win this game is if we get Najee Harris and this offense going. Okay, don't necessarily make it a shootout, but we got to put up points. And Kenny Pickett has looked good over the past couple of weeks. Of course, last week he didn't put up any points, but if I look at his numbers, they look pretty good. Okay, so I think Kenny Pickett can put up a fight, but if we do not get the run game going and if the defense cannot even slow down Tom Brady, then I got to go with the Buccaneers. Of course, I'll be waving my towel, cheering my butt off for my dogs, but playing with money, and for those of y'all betting in leagues and stuff like that, you should go with the safest pick, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, y'all, on the road. Next, we got the Panthers and the Rams. Y'all, the Rams are not looking good. I came into the season, I said they are the favorites, right? But losing Von Miller, that took a big toll on this team, and I see it every game. They don't have an O-line. They don't have a run game. Right now, it's basically Cooper Kupp versus whoever the other team is. That's what it looks like right now, and that you cannot win like that in this league, so they got to find something, and they're going against a team just fired their coach, right? The Panthers just fired their coach. And on top of that, you hear the Panthers talking about trade talks with Christian McCaffrey, about to trade Christian McCaffrey somewhere, about to trade their receiver Robbie Anderson somewhere. So right now, I think the Panthers are worried about everything else but this game coming up on Sunday. I think the Panthers are in complete rebuild mode. That's why they're putting players up for sale. So I'm going with the Rams at home. I think this will be an ugly game only because Carolina don't care about the season no more. All they're worried about is the future, and they're not worried about this year. So the Rams, this is a good game to get back on the right track. Right now you're 2-3. I wouldn't have thought that. It still is. We're 1 game behind the Rams, right? So this whole league, everybody is close. There's nobody running. The only person that's running away with it right now is the Eagles. Right, and will that last? We don't know. The whole league is just tight. The records look the same. A lot of 2-3 teams, a lot of 1-4 teams. So I think the Rams need to go ahead and take advantage of this game. This is a game where you got to win against a team, like I said, focused on the future versus the present. So I got the Rams at home against the Carolina Panthers. Next, we got Arizona and Seattle, y'all. Arizona, I'm not a fan of Arizona right now. Arizona doesn't look that good to me. Coming into the season, I said they're question marks because last year they started off 9-0, I believe, and could not finish the season out. Ended up playing the Rams in the wild card round. Lost that game by a lot. I'm just not a believer in the Cardinals right now. Deandre Hopkins coming back, I believe, next week. Not this week, but next week he's coming back. So for fantasy owners, make sure y'all grab him because I think he will bring a lot to this offense, but I don't think it will be enough. And then this week they're playing the Seahawks, who I think look good right now. The Seahawks are 2-3. I thought they would be 0-5. And every game they lose, they're in it. The only game that was bad, I believe, is the game when they played the 49ers. I don't think any other game been a blowout. They've been in close games with everybody. They're competing. Geno Smith playing at an all-time high for his career. And then Kenneth Walker is now getting the start. Rashad Penny got hurt last week, out for the season. Kenneth Walker, running back out of Michigan State, who I thought was pretty good last year in college, just coming to start for this offense. So I think the Seattle team has a huge chance of winning against the Arizona Cardinals. So I got Seattle beating Arizona. And then so we got to skip the 2 games of the week. And we're going to Monday night, the Broncos and the Chargers. Pick the Chargers, y'all. I don't think this game is going to be close. I think Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett right now are the worst quarterback head coach duo in the league right now, hands down. They can't get the offense right. They still running plays with a second left on the play clock. Russell Wilson still missing open passes. Nathaniel Hackett still making questionable calls. I just don't. There's nothing there for me to say, okay, the Broncos will win this game. The defense is playing outstanding, but you're going against a team, once again, like I said, in the best 5 plays, explosive offense with Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert. I don't think Keenan Allen, I think he's questionable. He might not play this week, but he should be getting back in the mix soon. This is the Chargers team that got to take advantage of these games as well, especially in the division. So I think this game in LA, I'm taking the Chargers, not even a question, because of Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson right now. But let's go ahead and let's get into the games of the week. First, we got at 3:25 the Bills and the Chiefs, y'all. The Bills, last year, we all know that crazy divisional round playoff game in Kansas City. Bills lost 42-36 in overtime. We all know how that went. The Bills went up 36-33 with 13 seconds left, y'all. 13 seconds. If they could have held them for 13 seconds, it would have been the Bills and the Rams in the Super Bowl probably. But not taking any credit from the Bengals, I'm sorry. So it would have been the Bengals and the Bills in the AFC Championship. But with 13 seconds left, Mahomes created magic, got the team in field goal range, hit the field goal, tied at 36-36. Went to overtime. Kansas City won the toss, and the rest is history. They ended up scoring. And this game led to a rule change, right? They changed the overtime rules because they said, look, it's not fair that when you win the coin toss, you win the game, basically, especially in this situation. So now, as we all know, in overtime, both teams get a chance to touch the ball. I think that's a good rule, and this game, this historic playoff game, is what caused that rule change. So with this game, right, I'm looking for revenge, okay? I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't care. Look, this is honestly an emotional pick for me because the Bills just beat the brakes out of us last week. So no, I'm not going for the Bills. No, I don't respect you no more, Josh Allen. And you know what made me not respect him anymore? Last week, we're sitting here losing to the Bills, right? We're getting beat bad. It's like 24-3, I believe. Our kicker goes out there and missed the field goal. They showed Josh Allen when he missed the field goal, and he hopped up, grabbed his helmet. He was all hyped. They're up 24-3. Like, what are you so... You're up by 21 points. What are you so hyped about? Then, with like 15 seconds left, right, before halftime, he went out there and he tried to go score. They sitting there in shotgun trying to throw the ball down the field. So I lost all respect for the Bills. This is an emotional pick. I would really pick the Bills because I think this is a revenge game. This is a game where Josh Allen should be thinking about what happened last year. But I pray to God they lose. So I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs at home. We saw what the Chiefs can do when it was down 17 last week against my Super Bowl picks, the Raiders. Now I believe this game, they're going to punch the Bills in the mouth and they're going to say, look, this is still our house. This is still our conference as of right now. Well, it's really the Bengals conference, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they are the big dogs. They remain the big dogs. They lost Tyreek Hill and really haven't lost a step, honestly. So I hope that the Chiefs win this game. Emotionally, I'm picking the Chiefs. I think y'all should bet your money on the Bills, but I'm going for the Chiefs. I don't care about the Bills. I'm going for the Chiefs, even though I think the Bills have a good chance of winning. I'm going because really it comes down to defense. I trust the Bills' defense, and they went to go get Von Miller for games like this, right? They got Von Miller, so when they go against Mahomes, right? They have somebody to close the game out. They have somebody to bring pressure on Mahomes. That's a big reason why the score was 42-36 last year in the playoffs, because they had nobody bringing pressure on Mahomes. So now you get Von Miller, and that should add pressure. And then the Chiefs defense, I'm not really confident in anybody but Chris Jones. So I think Josh Allen will have a field day. But I'm praying that the Kansas City Chiefs can win at home, even though money-wise, I think y'all should go with the Bills. And then here we go, Cowboys and Eagles Sunday night, y'all. Look, this is a huge game for both sides, okay? This is the Eagles team that's 5-0, right? I believe they lost both games to the Cowboys last year. I don't think the Eagles were really that good. They made the playoffs, but they wasn't really that good last year. And this is the year where everybody's looking at Jalen Hurts and they're saying, look, are you that guy? Can you go on primetime television on Sunday Night Football and beat this crazy defense that Cowboys just woke up with one day? So this is a game where I think it's really about the Eagles offense versus the Cowboys defense. Okay, the Eagles in yards per game, so total yards per game, they are second in the league. Cowboys are seventh in the league for yards allowed per game. So we got the seventh defense in yards allowed and the second offense in yards per game. Passing wise, we're looking at the Eagles that are seventh in the league passing yards per game. Looking at the Cowboys defense that only is eighth in passing yards allowed per game. We're looking at a rushing offense with the Eagles that is fifth. They have the fifth rushing offense, so fifth rushing yards per game in the league. And then the Cowboys are 18th in rushing yards allowed. So that's a little gap right there, right? The first two categories were close, but this right here, this could be the deciding factor. And it's also Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball. So it's not just their running back. Jalen Hurts, as we all know, is a dual threat. And this year, running the ball, he has been great. So that could really give the Cowboys trouble, in my opinion. And then we're looking at points per game. The Eagles' offense is fifth in points per game. They average 27 points per game. And then the Cowboys are third in points allowed per game. I think they only allow like 14 points per game. So I think the Eagles can expose them with the run game, especially with Jalen Hurts added to it, okay? And then, of course, the Eagles have studs at receiver. They have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith. They have Dallas Goedert at tight end. So this is a loaded offense. And like I said, in the run game is going to be effective because the Cowboys are 18th in rushing yards allowed. So I think Jalen Hurts will have a field day running the ball. But can he put the ball in the air and put this team to rest? But that's when the Cowboys pass rush comes in. So this should be a good matchup between the Eagles offense and the Cowboys defense. I'm taking the Eagles in this game. I'm picking Philly. And this is why. The Cowboys offense is 25th in points per game. They only score 18.6 per game. You know why? Because of that defense, right? But if Jalen Hurts go out there and have a good game, if Jalen Hurts go out there and put points up on this defense, you need Cooper Rush to score more than 18 points. That's what you're going to need, and that's why I'm taking the Eagles, because I think Cooper Rush is a great game manager. I think he's doing good by not losing games. Right, he's not winning games, but he's not losing games. He hasn't thrown any picks. He hasn't fumbled the ball. So he's doing a good job, and it's also because of his defense and not allowing teams to score. If my defense only give up 14 points, all I need to score is 18. And 18 is not hard, especially when the defense is also scoring for me sometimes. You see what I'm saying? And then the Eagles' defense is 7th in points allowed per game. They only allow 17 points. Cowboys only score 18 points. So I think that's a big mismatch right there. I think this Eagles defense might just terrorize this Cowboys offense. So now you're looking at the Cowboys defense with a whole lot of pressure on them to slow down Jalen Hurts in an offense that I think is pretty stacked. So I think everything falls in the Eagles' direction. I'm taking the Eagles. And look, if Cooper Rush loses this game, please don't go around saying put Dak in. Because if Dak is out there Sunday night, the same result would happen. Probably be worse. Okay, I think Cooper Kupp will keep y'all out of harm's way. Dak will put y'all in harm's way. But I'm taking the Eagles on Sunday night, y'all. And that is it for this episode. This episode, I got it done under 30 minutes. This is like the first episode I got it done under 30 minutes. So please give me a round of applause. I will bow down. Thank you so much. And look, I did say I would talk about the NBA prior to Tuesday, and I will. I will have a special episode on Monday. On Monday, I will make another episode about the NBA season because the NBA starts on Tuesday. So on Monday, I will come out with an episode strictly about the NBA. I will have a pyramid and everything for it, and that will be on Monday, y'all. But that is it for Bess. I am out. Y'all enjoy football this weekend. God bless y'all. And like I said, keep God first in your life and y'all can never go wrong. Much love. I'm out.